Welcome to Chad Hates Carbs. Today we're going to be making a buffalo chicken chowder, so let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to stick a bunch of butter. We're going to use, I'm putting 3 tablespoons in because, you know, more butter is always better. It only calls for 2, but let's go ahead and get that started. We're going to go ahead and put this on medium heat, about a 5, and once we get that melted, we'll get started dumping in some items. Alright, so the butter's nice and frothy. So now at this point we're going to go ahead and add 2 stalks of chopped celery. I'll just chop that into small pieces. And then we're going to take and we've got a 1/4 cup of onions. I'm using red onions here. You could use whatever kind you like. And we're going to cook these down. The goal here is we want to cook them until they're tender, is what it says. Normally that's going to, as she says in the recipe, it's going to take a few minutes. So we'll come back once they're, because right now you can see they're nice and opaque. Once they start to turn translucent, that's when you know that you're getting where you need to be. So we'll come back in a second. All right, it's a little harder to tell with the red onions, but you can see that they're starting to get lighter in color and they're a little bit mushier. The onions generally, like if you're using regular onions, they'll actually get clear, but in this case we're just looking for them to get tender. So yeah, now at this point we've got a 3/4 teaspoon of salt that we're going to add. Then we're going to add a half a teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to mix that in. And then it calls for tomato paste. I don't have any tomato paste here at the house, so I'm going to skip that bit. So we're not going to have to whisk it in until combined. We're just going to mix in the salt and pepper here. And then at this point I'm supposed to add in broth and buffalo sauce. The buffalo sauce I'm using is a 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of buffalo sauce. I'm going to slap that in there. I'm going to mix that in nice. And then we also need to add in 3 cups of broth. And I just made mine from bouillon cubes. So I've got 3 cups of chicken bouillon to mix in there. Okay. And then it says we're supposed to, at this point, let this come to a boil. And then at that point, once it's boiled, then we bust it back to a simmer and let it set. So we're going to wait on that. Okay, so it just got to a boil. So we just pulled it down to low to let it simmer for a second. And now at this point what we're doing is we're going to be putting in cream cheese. We've got some softened cream cheese here. And it says to bring it out and do something separate. I'm going to cheat and use an immersion blender because I have one. If you don't have one, you'll need to do what she says, where you take it out and mix it in or whatever. In this case, because I have an immersion blender, I believe that this cheating method will work fine. So we'll see. See if I'm right. So let's just get that out of there. We're going to now the reason that you would also want to do this would be to make sure that you don't completely destroy all of the stuff, so that you still have texture, so you're not just totally destroying your goodies. That would be the other reason that you want to do it, but I'm lazy. So that looks good to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add in the cream. We got a cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to add that in as well. This is, I guess this would be the chowder part, huh? It's interesting to me that there's no blue cheese at all in this, other than the topping that she calls out. Because obviously you need to have blue cheese with your wings, with your buffalo chicken. So let's go ahead and, actually I'm not even going to use the immersion blender at this point because the cream cheese is all mixed in already. Let's just pull that out. Let's stir that bad boy up. Alrighty. So at this point, stir it in, bring it back to just a simmer, then stir in the chopped chicken. So at this point, we just let it sit with the chopped chicken. And what I've got for the chopped chicken, I've got canned chicken from Sam's. I inadvertently drained this, which was stupid because I should have just left the juice in. Because hey, more juice. But I remembered that hey, I might want this juice in my other can, so I've got one drained can and one regular can. So it calls for 3 cups. I just had these cans of chicken sitting in the cupboard, so that's what I'm using here. And you might want to chop it more if you'd like. I like big irregular chunks in my chowder, so it works great for me. My children aren't huge fans of the canned chicken, but I think it works just fine. So now we're just going to let it simmer for a while. Come back and taste it in a minute. Okay, so let's get a bowl of this stuff and see how it is. It's got some blue cheese here. I'm just going to put a little bit in there. That's really good. That was really good. I definitely think the blue cheese is almost necessary because it gives it a little bit of that extra zip. I mean, it's fine without it. It's not super spicy. So my family will probably want to put more hot sauce in it, since especially my boys love hot food. But yeah, this is fantastic. It's definitely going on the rotation around here. 2 thumbs up. Very, very good. 10 out of 10. So, hope you like this one. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.